and welcome back to Nude News. As always, I'm your host, Andrew Furman. As we approach the election week, many events are unfolding. This week, we break down the comments made by Pope Francis regarding same-sex marriage. Mark, what can you tell me about what happened with the Pope's decision?
In a document that was released this week, Pope Francis made history by coming out in favor of civil unions for same-sex couples. This is a continuation of similar statements he has made as Archbishop and in other times in his career. This is definitely a landmark in terms of equality for Christian members of the LGBTQ community.
Yes, very notable. Next, a light has been shed on the Breonna Taylor case. Could you elaborate on this?
The grand jury of the Breonna Taylor case had petitioned to speak out about what went on during the case's hearing. According to the jurors, murder was never charged against any of the police officers involved in the raid. Daniel Cameron, Kentucky's Attorney General, stated that he felt as though in his investigation, the court would only uphold previous charges. Cameron alleged that the shooting was justified because Taylor's boyfriend had once shot at the police, but according to the grand juror, they were not allowed to weigh in on homicide charges and said that, quote, self-defense and justification was not explained to them either, end quote. Cameron has made a counterclaim, however, stating that if the jurors had felt that harsher charges were necessary, then they would have pushed and asked about them.
All right, we're going to move from one, heavy topic to another heavy topic. Recently reported that children detained by ICE have not been returned to their families. Mark, what can you tell me about this?
Despite a federal court order that all children detained on ICE camps had to be returned to their families, 545 children have still not been reunited as the parents cannot be located. Several non-governmental organizations have been working on the ground across the world, especially in Latin America, to locate parents and guardians who have been deported back to their country of origin. Yet, due to COVID-19, these missions had been halted, and humanitarian groups believed many of the missing parents are among those who were sent back between 2017 and 2018. Even though these children have yet to be reunited with their parents, thousands of families have been, thanks to the legal work of the ACLU and the work of other humanitarian groups.
Finally, the big pharma corporation Purdue is in big trouble. What can you tell us about this, Mark?
Purdue Pharma is said to plead guilty for 3 federal charges as it pertains to the overdose deaths caused by the OxyContin produced by the pharmaceutical company. In a settlement amounting to over $8 billion, Purdue concedes to have used misleading information as it pertains to the products, lies that downplayed the addictive nature and harmfulness of their drugs. Since the year 2000, close to 500,000 deaths were caused by overdose, including over 50,000 in 2019 alone. The family who owns Purdue, however, will also be subject to any civil lawsuits in future hearings.
Mark, as always, thank you so much for joining us. From everyone here at Nude News and ECTV, I'm Andrew Furman, saying remember, size only matters when it comes to poll numbers and maybe crowd sizes. Good night, everybody.